Hey everybody, this is HD StarCraft and I'm here to come out with a video for you guys because apparently in the last day or so there has just been so many changes happening, not just in StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm, but apparently now YouTube is totally different, and I'm not even going to try to attempt to explain what is going on with YouTube right now because I have no idea. It is pretty confusing, but I will try to explain what's happening here in Heart of the Swarm because Blizzard has just come out with the patch that they said they would before the holiday season begins. And it just came out yesterday. I am a little bit late here. I'm about 1 day late, but I'm just going to go ahead and go through as many of the changes as I can just to show you guys everything in real time, what's happening here in the actual game. And so this is the unit map tester here in Heart of the Swarm, and I'm just going to go ahead and alt-tab and read the changes out to you guys. So for Terrans, this is the race that's actually gotten the most changes overall. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the medevac. The medevac now has some new abilities and has some new healing mechanisms as well. It kind of heals at a different rate. So if we go ahead and make a medevac here, and let's just go ahead and make a couple of Marines, because medevacs need Marines. It's like the yin with the yang. You can see here that they have the heal for the biological unit. It heals 3 life per 1 energy. And they have this new ability called Emergency Thrusters. So they can activate and give the medevac a movement speed boost of 70% for 8 seconds. And this also improves their acceleration as well. So if you're starting from a dead stop, boom, you just get that turbo boost kicking in right there, and you're going up to a very, very high rate of speed. Now, the interesting change here is in the tech lab, they also have an upgrade for the Caduceus reactor, and if you upgrade this, before it used to give the medevac more energy, well now it actually allows the medevac to heal at a faster rate. So if this Marine, say, gets shot by his teammates, no problem, he's gonna be healed up so well, maybe not that well, but you guys get the idea. And so that's basically what happened for the medevac. And of course the cost for the Caduceus reactor has been increased by a little bit as well to compensate for that. So basically what they're doing here is making bio a little bit better, because bio just was not really used in Heart of the Swarm because mech was just so much better. But that doesn't mean that they forgot about mech. But before I talk about mech, let's just look at the Reaper. The Reaper now has a little bit of a boost in terms of its speed, I believe. I'm looking at here, base speed increased by a little bit, and it has actually its base speed has been increased, and if you increase its nitro packs or upgrade the nitro packs, it also gets an increase from that too. So now they are, oh my god, they are so fast. You could actually just have these two placed on a NASCAR racetrack and they would probably take out all of the race cars, no problem. They are so quick now, my god. All right, so that's that. The Widowmine, this is the new mech unit, of course, introduced in Heart of the Swarm. And you guys might be thinking, hey, did Blizzard do anything for mech? Well, they did. The Widowmine actually has a nerf and a buff. It no longer hits cloaked units, which is good because before they could hit an observer. So if I had like a Protoss observer, I'm trying to look for the observatory here, or the robotics facility, I should say. Back then, if you had a Widowmine burrowed underground, guess what? The observer would get taken out, and that was really annoying for Protoss. It actually made it damn near impossible for them to deal with that. Well, now, guess what? It is no longer a detector when burrowed, so it does not I don't know what happened there. It says it no longer hits cloaked units. Alright, that was really confusing. Well, it shouldn't hit the cloaked units. Maybe it's had something to do with the fact that I'm using the map tester, and maybe cloaked units are all visible. I have no idea. But they do have a new upgrade called Drilling Claws. That's a very creative name, I might add. Right here, Research Drilling Claws. I need a new portrait for that because that's actually the Gather Mineral portrait. But this allows the Widowmine now to burrow much faster. So before it took a long time for them to burrow, guess what? Boom! Underground. So that's much, much quicker than, say, something like the standard Widowmine. And if you guys take a look here, burrowing. This guy's burrowed later, but they will proc before they will, and oh god, it's just suicidal. All right, so that's what happens with the Widowmines now, and that upgrade does cost 150 with a 110-second research time, so it does take quite a bit of time to do that. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the Thor. This is very interesting, man. Blizzard is giving love to all the units here for Terran, man. Thors now can actually not just only hit ground, but they can now hit, well, they could always hit ground, but now they can also have a different type of attack for air. So they could always hit ground and air, obviously, but now if you hit this ability, they don't have the 250mm cannon anymore, but if you hit this ability 4 seconds, they kind of transform, they kind of go into their Megazord mode, and then boom, now they have the ability to hit air with 250mm Punisher cannons, which, if I'm looking at this correctly, it seems like Oh, actually, they still have the Javelin missile launcher, so if you go back to standard mode, let's just go ahead and make a few Thors. Let's just show you guys what I mean, because visual is much better than theoretical, right? So let's just go ahead and make some of these speedy medevacs here, give them that caduceus reactor, and so they are really fast now when I hit B, and let's see what happens here. B, and so the Thor still has their normal air shot, but what happens when we convert them to high impact payload? So this allows them to only hit single air targets for heavy damage. So basically, it becomes a unit that can only target single air units. Arms of Thor's Javelin missile launchers deal splash damage to nearby air units and additional damage versus light units. Interesting. Oh, okay, this is just to transform back into its normal mode. So if we go to high impact payload, that's right. Okay, so the reason why Blizzard has, why they implemented the high impact payload, not to deal really with, you guys can see it no longer has splash damage, so you guys might be thinking, why would I ever transform my Thor into something like that? Well, the reason is because it has 10 range, and it is the direct counter to the Tempest. And we'll talk a little bit more about the Tempest in a second, because the Tempest have a bit of change as well. They actually have a different ground and air attack, but as you guys can see, very good against single target Tempest. Now before, actually Tempest would just murder Terran mech, and now that's no longer the case because the Thors can actually, well, I don't think they can outrange them, but they can stand toe-to-toe with the Tempest at the very least. So there you guys can see that. So let's go ahead and take a look, let those guys fight it out for a little bit. Let's go ahead and take a look at, well, the Thor radius and separation radius has kind of been altered a little bit, but let's take a look at the Raven here. Blizzard mentioned that they really wanted to see Ravens being used more at the high level, and they've made a couple, oh, I didn't want to make that unit. They made a couple of changes here that makes the Raven a lot more interesting. Now the Raven Seeker Missile has been completely redesigned. It can fire from 10 range, and it actually comes out and stays immobile in front of the Raven for 3 seconds while charging up. Then it rapidly moves out, and once it starts moving, it is not dodgeable. So basically, you can only dodge it, I guess, when it's in that 3-second charge up phase, and once it hits, it explodes at the target for 300 single target damage. Holy good lord, that's a lot of damage. The targeted unit also lights up red when targeted, and if the unit moves through 13 range out of the secret, where the secret missile is, the missile will fizzle. So let's just go ahead and take a look and see exactly how this works. Let's make some of these, let's make some phoenixes or something. And, uh-oh. No, go away. So we'll just send these phoenixes up here where they don't have to deal with any stupid Thors, and put them like right here. My mouse is not calibrated right now, guys, so I do have a little bit of issues with that. But the secret missile, as you guys can see, no longer requires an upgrade from the tech lab. You don't have to research that anymore, but for whatever reason I forgot to research the Corvid reactor. So the Raven will not have enough energy for a little bit here, but let's see if I can make a couple more Ravens. And will they come out with enough energy? No, they will not. So I must wait for the Ravens to get enough energy here. But I really want to see how this works, because I actually have no idea. Because apparently the secret missile comes out, it'll stay immobile for 3 seconds. But what about the dodge time? Are you able to dodge? When are you able to dodge that actual missile? So let's take a look here. Launching secret missile. Ah, okay. So I guess right now, okay, you definitely cannot dodge that. Oh my God, 300 damage. That was pretty devastating. Let's go ahead and see if you can dodge it when the secret missile is actually out. Yes, that's how you dodge it. So you have to you get a 3-second window to dodge that ability. That's actually really fast. I'm not sure how pro gamers are going to be able to deal with that. I don't know if you can. I mean, you can, but that's going to be pretty hard to deal with. But it does definitely add an element of micro into StarCraft 2, and everybody loves to watch high-level micro. So let's just go ahead and seeker these things down. Oh yes, that's awesome. 300 damage per shot. That's enough to kill a freaking, well, not a Thor, but it's almost enough to kill a Thor. So that's actually pretty insanity. Let's just go ahead and take a look. Thor's trying to walk away. I can't make it out in time. No! All right, so that Thor took a lot of damage. And another change here for the Hellbat, actually. The splash damage radius has been increased from 90 to 110. So as you guys recall, the Hellbat does come. I've just got units from everywhere here. Let's just send everybody to the north, the Icelandic, and let's go ahead and make a couple of Hellbats. There we go. So their radius has been increased a little bit. Let's see what happens when I send in, like, oh, I don't know. Let's just send a million Zerglings at him for a little bit here. Let's see what happens. And where are my Hellbats? There they are. So you guys can see the radius and the range. Oh, that's nice. It's kind of hard to tell, but I can kind of see, just watching the Cat see so many games, that it has been increased by a little bit. The armory now only has one weapon and one armor upgrade for both air and ground upgrades for factory and starport units, and that is amazing, because now it makes it so you don't actually, well, as Terran, before it was very hard to switch between Terran ground and Terran air, you know, very, very difficult to do that, and that's why it was so hard for Terrans to play in the late game in most matchups. What is going on up here? Units are just fighting each other left and right, I guess. Secret missile! Oh, yes. I just love watching that new ability. That's so awesome. But anyways, guys, that's really cool because now you can kind of, you don't have to switch really between your upgrades, and it allows you to really easily and fluidly transition from one type of unit to another. So if you're going mass ground mech, very easy to switch into mass Sky Terran, Battlecruiser, Banshee, whatever have you. So there it is. And that is the end of the changes for the Terran race. I'm going to go ahead and cut this video right now because this is going to be pretty long. I'm just going to make one video for every single race, and next up will be the Protoss, and then I'll do a quick one for the Zerg. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, I do apologize. This is about a day late. I was out for the entire day, so I had no idea that the patch did come out. But I came back and I was like, what the hell? YouTube has changed and StarCraft 2 has changed? Holy crap, I gotta make a video about that. So next up will be Protoss, after that will be Zerg, and then who knows, maybe after that I'll talk a little bit about YouTube. I have no idea what's going on with that. But I'll see you guys in the next video. This is HD signing out.